Welcome back. Well, the SGX Nifty is indicating that we'll have a blockbuster opening, and after that, we'll just see if we can extend gains. As of now, the SGX Nifty is 97.20. Now, keep in mind today's expiry, so that's spot level as well. There's not much difference between the futures and the spot on expiry day. Just a word on the Asian screen as well, and a couple of other markets. Right now, Nikkei is up about 2.5%. That's of course part of the developed markets. But even if you look at the emerging markets, there are good gains in Shanghai, Straits, Thailand, across the board. Nishil Maheshwari is now joining us to make sense of things from here on. He is of course from Centrum Broking. Nishil, hi, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us. I wanted your thoughts first on what's happening with the financials, and we've started to see a big rally once again in big banks, HDFC Bank, ICICI, Axis. Your thoughts and whether you would be buying any of these stocks right now?
Morning, Anuj. I think the results for the few banks which have already come out, HDFC, Axis, IndusInd, I think it's better than expected. Most of them, because I think as the market collapsed, there was so much negativism around that. Basically, I think the results have been for across the three, I think is better than expected. The second thing is we have to keep it in mind basically that this is the last quarter where still hardly any impact of the COVID-19 was there. So we need to go ahead basically when we are looking at future. Basically, we need to be cautious because this is going to be the worst quarter where we are closed down for almost 1.5 months now. So yes, I would be looking to buy some of these banks. Our top pick continues to remain HDFC Bank out there. HDFC Bank and ICICI is what we are strongly recommending to buy.
Okay, just to extend this now to NBFC especially, I wanted your thoughts on Bajaj Finance because Nishil, it went and broke 2000 and then a lot of buy calls came that perhaps it has bottomed out. Your thoughts?
So I would avoid Bajaj Finance for the moment, basically, because Bajaj Finance, one, I think obviously it's got still aggressive valuations, around 4.5 times book, basically. And the second thing is Bajaj Finance this year has already indicated that their growth is going to be challenged. So in this kind of a scenario, basically, where you're going to have a sort of a flattish growth, giving 4.5 time book is pretty aggressive. I would actually prefer an HDFC Bank over Bajaj Finance at this moment.
Okay, Nishil, just stay on. We have lots of other questions coming your way as well. But right now we have a special guest joining in. It is all about, of course, pharma and the search for a cure, the race to find an effective drug. Now, hopes of an effective COVID-19 treatment from Gilead, of course, boosted global spirits in a big way yesterday. Biocon has also indicated that they are looking at reproducing its drug, its psoriasis drug, to perhaps treat COVID-19 in some fashion. Let's try and understand more. We have the lady herself, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, Chairman and Managing Director of Biocon, joining us on the line. Ma'am, always a pleasure to talk to you. You bring much needed clarity in these confusing times. So let me first start with your thoughts. The race to find a cure is on. Tell us a little more about your efforts.
Well, certainly I think everyone is trying to find something that will arrest this virus. And like you said, Remdesivir has just reported some promising data, but it's not a magic bullet, as you know. There were also some other trial reports of other biologic drugs, and we are joining this effort by repurposing our own itolizumab, which is a anti-CD6 antibody which has been approved for psoriasis, but it also has a very good effect on the cytokine pathway, where it actually does have an effect on down-regulating what we call as cytokines, and it has an anti-inflammatory effect. So the combination of the two is likely to help in dealing with the cytokine release and the inflammation that we see in COVID-19.
Okay. Kiran, hi, good morning. I wanted your thoughts also on the overnight development from Gilead. How do you see that? And if the drug does get an approval from US FDA, what are the options for countries like India? Because it will be a patented drug, so there will be a cost factor.
At this point in time, I don't think patents are going to be enforced. Gilead has already got a model of of licensing, licensing without a patent fee. So I think those kind of models have been used in the past in India, where many Hep C drugs, antiretrovirals have been produced by Indian companies for the developing world markets. And I would assume that the same would hold true if remdesivir is required. Today's news was also that a Bangalore-based Stride Pharmaceuticals has also produced Favipiravir, which is another antiretroviral out of Japan that is being used for treating the same COVID-19. Now, these are not magic bullets, by the way. Even if you look at the Gilead data, it is not really conclusive. It is not really helping severe patients. It's helping early patients to get a slightly faster exit from hospitals. But it really is not serving the purpose. The real challenge today are the severe and critically ill patients. Those are the ones that need to be saved. The rest of them actually, in any case, are recovering and getting out of hospitals. So this only is supposed to allow you a shorter stay in the hospital. But it is not working against severe patients, and that really is the challenge.
Yes, that really is the challenge, Kiran. So, as you said, these are not magic bullets, and we have to just hope that something comes along. But Oxford has also begun human trials on potential COVID-19 vaccine. Your thoughts on that as well, if you have studied that?
Yes, I think there are a number of vaccine programs that are advancing well. There are, I think, at least 3 vaccine programs out of China that are advancing very rapidly. There is this Oxford trial which has entered the clinic. There is a German vaccine trial with Pfizer that's entering the clinic. There are 2 others in the US, which are the new technology RNA-based vaccines by Moderna and Invio, which has also entered trials. So there is a race for getting to a vaccine. And I just hope that one of these gets a fast-track approval if it's showing promising data, because I think that's what the world is waiting for. And there is every likelihood that when it enters into a phase 2 or even the phase 3 phase, if there is some really compelling data, then I think they will start allowing emergency use.
Okay, ma'am, if I could just come back to your psoriasis drug, how does it progress from here? Will you be doing trials? And
yes.
What would be the time to market? What are we looking at here?
So we have received, CDSCO approval in a few weeks ago. We have already received ethics committee approvals in many parts of the country. And I think we want to initiate the trial as soon as possible, because this has a very good promise in dealing with severe patients. And we would like to see how it works there, because I think early indications, even from IL-6 antibody trials, show that this can work. So we're hoping, and we've seen that this particular drug has recently reported very promising results in Cuba. This is a drug that we licensed from Cuba 20 years ago. And the Cubans have used this drug for COVID-19 and have reported very, very good results. So we are hoping that we can replicate those results in India, and that means we would have a very good treatment if it works that way.
Well, ma'am, more power to you, your team, and all the scientists out there. If God is working today, it is working via people in the healthcare services. Thank you very much for joining in and giving us some clarity. So there you go. Biocon is also looking at basically having an alternate use of their existing psoriasis drug, which can have good results, as Ms. Shaw says. Quick break. On that note, we'll come back on the other side and focus on some of the big earnings of the day. Harshvardhan Dole of IIFL will join in with his expectations from Reliance.